Could this be a push? Could this be a final push for a sign of things to come? Lynn Roberts, head coach, LA Sparks, planting seeds in the ground for Caitlin Clark to blossom and eventually put on a LA Sparks uniform. The talks were once hot. They might be heating up again soon.
The Indiana Fever are suddenly at the center of one of the biggest storylines in women's basketball. Rumors and online speculation have exploded with claims linking Caitlin Clark to a possible future with the Los Angeles Sparks under head coach Lynn Roberts. While none of these reports have been confirmed, they've sparked a heated debate across the basketball world. Could one of the league's brightest stars really consider a fresh start? Or is this simply another off-season rumor gaining momentum online? Tonight, we're breaking down where these reports came from, why fans are talking about them, and what a move of this magnitude could mean for the future of the WNBA.
Each other off the floor. I just don't think that on the floor, it's a good mix. I think they just see the game through two different lenses. And we have been yearning and calling for Stephanie White to actually stand up for, represent, and be front and center for Caitlin Clark. And she's refused to do it at every turn outside of a 30-second clip post the Alyssa Thomas situation, in which she backtracked on everything she said and made Alyssa Thomas the victim when her superstar point guard was the victim. It just makes no sense how Stephanie White has gone about this. And you see the things that LA Sparks doing. You got Cameron Brink, who's friends with Caitlin Clark. You got Kate Money Martin, who's best friends with Caitlin Clark. Sophie Cunningham will be a free agent at the end of this season. Hey, Sophie Lexi can making her way downtown. Look.
To understand why these rumors have gained so much attention, you have to look at the criticism surrounding Caitlin Clark's first seasons with the Indiana Fever. Many fans have questioned how physical opponents have been allowed to play against her, and whether the coaching staff has done enough to protect and support the franchise's biggest star. Those concerns have fueled endless debate on social media, with supporters arguing that Clark hasn't always received the backing they expected from her organization. Whether those criticisms are fair or not, they've created an environment where almost every rumor involving Clark quickly becomes headline news.
The league just has to do better, and we have to invest in those areas. The technology can get better. We can treat the referees a little bit better, pay them like they're full-time employees. I think things like that. And I think a lot has obviously come after that. And as I've stood up here and said before, like the harassment, the hate, none of that is okay. That goes for the opposing team we play. That goes for my teammates. That goes for my coaches. There should never be a question of character. Like I've always stood up here and said that, and that's truly what I believe. That's how I was raised. So, none of that is okay, and I don't want anybody to ever experience that. I think it can be really frustrating to me at times, and I think it's difficult. I think a lot of people sometimes think I'm a robot. I'm not a robot. I have emotions, I have feelings, and it can be really difficult to go through a lot of that. And, I'm 24 years old trying to navigate a lot, and I think at times I've been in this world for 4 years now, and you would never change any of it. But there are times that it is hard, and there are times that, it probably affects me a little bit more than I do put on. And, I would never change any of that for the world. But I think it's important that people do remember that part of it too. So
that brings us to the Los Angeles Sparks. With Lynn Roberts now leading the franchise, some fans have begun imagining what a team built around Caitlin Clark could look like. Los Angeles offers one of the biggest sports markets in the country, and naturally speculation has grown about whether the Sparks could someday pursue a superstar if the opportunity ever became available. At this point, however, there is no confirmed report that a trade offer or financial proposal has been made. Still, the discussion itself highlights just how valuable Clark has become, not only as a player, but as one of the biggest attractions in the entire league.
Great. And you think about the passion that these players have and their want to. How do you marry that with the execution that you just talked about in this film session to actually win games?
Yeah, and that's the issue right now, is the ability to push through and get out of our own way on some level. But there's an element of toughness and effort that isn't consistent. And last night we just looked disconnected. Maybe that's because we sat out 8 days, didn't play, but I don't like using excuses. We got to be better. We're pros. We all have a job to do. We got to show up and do it better. And like I've said many, many times, the good news is today it's all about Indiana. We got to turn the page, learn from what we learned from what we saw last night. But that's not going to win any games. The level of connectedness, the max, second, third efforts. If we don't have those, it's not going to be good. But we have the talent needed, even with KP out, even with Cam out, to be more competitive than that.
Yeah. During this stretch, talk to me about just the decision today to just practice and just say, we're just going to watch film. If you want to shoot a little bit, you can shoot a little bit, but not even really do too much on court and just say, this is what we got to do. Here it is. Let's go do it.
And that's the reality at this point in the season, too. We don't need to go through our plays right now today and wear them down physically. It's mentally having the focus and the intensity needed to execute. It's that simple. Now, it's hard to do, but I'm not saying it's simple to do, but it's a simple fix. That's what it is. Being in the right coverages, whatever it is, offensively being where we need to be. Do your job, all of us.
The attention surrounding these rumors also reflects the enormous pressure facing the Indiana Fever. When a franchise is built around a generational talent, every coaching decision, roster move, and public statement comes under intense scrutiny. Fans want answers. Analysts want accountability. And every difficult stretch on the court creates even more speculation about the team's long-term direction. Whether or not any trade discussions actually exist, the conversation shows just how important Caitlin Clark has become to both the Fever and the future growth of the WNBA.
Well, I believe the vote is a mix between the fan vote and then players and media, but it still just didn't work out in her favor. I mean, what else does a person have to do if they're averaging 24 points, 6 assists, a 5'8" guard shooting above 50% from the field? What else can you do?
Other than be super active on social media, nothing.
Compared me also my dad.
That seems to be what the parameters are. So, but KP's about winning. She's about being great, being excellent. She'll take it in stride.
What are you going to, if you haven't been able to talk to her about it yet, when you do, what are you going to say to her about it? Because, she's having a season that is worthy of being an all-star starter. Well, MVP, but an all-star starter just for the base level.
I haven't talked to her yet about it. I'll see how that conversation goes.
Okay.
Listen, man, Kelsey Plum got did dirty, just as Caitlin Clark got did dirty. We all know they rigged the fan voting for Paige Beckers. Paige Beckers jumped 400,000 votes in 3 days. We all know it was rigged. It was scammy. They just didn't want Caitlin Clark to be the captain. But the Los Angeles Sparks, I think Caitlin Clark in LA would be a beautiful thing. And it's going to be very, 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 very interesting to see how this thing plays out in Indy. I think how the season finishes up is going to play a major part. And I think regardless of how things go, this is the very last season you'll see Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark as teammates. This is it. And I think the LA Sparks are planting seeds in the ground and prepping for a move to bring Caitlin Clark to Los Angeles.
For now, the biggest question remains unanswered. Can the Indiana Fever continue building around Caitlin Clark and convince fans that the organization is moving in the right direction? Or will the rumors continue growing every time adversity hits? Until official information emerges, everything remains speculation, but one thing is beyond debate. Clark's future will remain one of the biggest stories in professional basketball.
We willing to build up something nice for you over here. We willing to make it happen. What did the LA Sparks do? They have signed Kate Martin to a full-on standard contract. No more developmental stuff, no more of that. Kate Money Martin is fully on the squad. Squad. She's fully there. Is this a seed being planted in the ground for Caitlin Clark to eventually join the LA Sparks? The heats are heating up. The talks are heating up. The talks are heating up, and I think this is a great move for the LA Sparks. Okay, this is also that was courtesy of from the LA Sparks. They posted that. Just Women's Sports posted after.
The situation continues to evolve, and basketball fans will be watching every development closely. As new information becomes available, we'll break it all down here. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the latest updates, analysis, and discussions surrounding Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever, and the ever-changing landscape of the WNBA.